mean, it's in that building. That was my home. That was my home for many, many years. Absolutely. That's really a homecoming, going to that building. I know every nook and cranny of that building. I've spent many a day in there. Is Schrager? Do we have a billboard for Schrager? I thought I saw one. No, we don't. Okay, I thought we did. Okay, he hasn't gotten to this point yet of getting a billboard. Not yet. You see how Mon said he doesn't have a billboard yet. Schrager, within a couple of years, would have a billboard. He'd be big enough soon to have a billboard. No question.
It's all hypothetical, Mike. I get like goosebumps here in the Mike Don theme song. Right.
So where are you this week now? Well, first of all, that was you made a very good. We both agreed on Arizona. We were both right, although we shouldn't have been right. But absolutely, Bortles bailed us out. But he was just dreadful, and then Marone just lost his mind. I mean, absolutely, the dumbest thing of the year was passing the ball on second down. I mean, that made absolutely no sense. But hey, we'll take it. And then you were right about the Bills winning that game in Kansas City. A dreadful performance, and now Kansas City comes here with Revis. But you are in, did you say you got the Lion game?
Lions versus Ravens. Pretty good game. Two teams that are above 500 fighting for their playoff lives. So I'm excited for this one.
The least watchable team in the league to me right now is the Lions. I can't stand watching them. I can't figure out why Flacco's so bad. They just look good one week, shut out the Pack. Next week they look awful. They're well coached, we know. I thought they'd be better than this year. And Flacco has just... the two guys in the league who have just gotten bad, Flacco's one, Dalton's the other. Flacco, though, had a great run in the postseason. I mean, an incredible run when he won the championship. He just is not the same quarterback anymore.
Well, he got paid that year, $120 million, and he had a good year in 2013, but it hasn't been the same guy. The thing is with them, though, they've got 3 different shutouts this season, which no team does.
Right.
And I think there's been like 5 teams.
And they thought they were going to have a great defense. They really did, yeah.
They spent four picks in a row on the draft on it and brought in guys. And the other thing is, they've got a kicker, Mike, who in bad weather could hit 62 yards.
Amazing.
No problem. This guy might be the best kicker we've ever seen. And at the very least, they're going to keep you in games with defense and kicking.
And I love the Lion kicker. He's unbelievable, too. He's a great kicker. You know that?
Who's this? Prater, the other one?
Craig is a great kicker. He really is.
He hits it every...
Man, he is golden. He is absolutely golden. He is the Cowboys got a great kicker. There are great kickers all around the league, but boy, I love the Detroit kicker. He's a monster too. But you're right, that's a heck of a game from a kicking standpoint.
And it's like, the NFL struggling with ratings, and how do you get excited for Lions-Ravens? 2 great kickers. Let's go.
They're clutch. They really are. They're good. And the Lions... They were disappointing on Thanksgiving. They really were. That was a bad performance by them.
You fall behind 20-3 at home before you even wake up. That's the Lions, though, and it's been that way for quite literally 3 years. They're down. I've done so many Lions games the last few years.
They're always behind, and they always come back.
They always come back, and it's kind of been the story of this team, and I just don't know when what do you do to change your pregame ritual? I'm going to talk to Jim Caldwell tomorrow for a while, and I'll talk to Stafford, but what do you do to shake out of that? Because it's quite literally they were down 10 to the Browns, 10 to the Bears, 17 to the Vikings, and they always cut it within 1 score. And it's sometimes you're going to win, but a lot of times you're not. And I don't understand, how do you change your pregame ritual so that you're not in a 10-point hole before you start the game?
Yeah, they don't run it well enough. Their quarterback's good, but he played I thought he played great last year, and then when he messed up his hand, he stayed in the lineup, which I give him credit for. He didn't complain. He played with that ridiculous thing on his hand, and he didn't throw the ball well. But you know what? He hasn't thrown the ball the same way this year either. So I wonder if his hand's completely healthy.
He hasn't thrown the ball great, and he's getting annihilated back there. The offensive line has been a rotation all year, and you saw on Thanksgiving, I was worried it was the knee. Turns out it was a high ankle, and everyone's, all right, well, he's got 10 days. A high ankle sprain is pretty bad.
High ankle's really bad.
So we'll see how he is and how mobile he is. But you're right, it should be decent weather in this one. But both Flacco and Stafford playing for their playoff lives, 2 of the highest-paid quarterbacks in the league, just carrying teams on their back.
All right, the best thing to talk about right now is the South, because the Falcons, and to me, they're the interesting team right now. I still think they have the most talent in the NFC, number 1. Number 2, this is a big couple of days. Vikings and then the Saints. And if you look at it, 4 of their last 5 games are against Carolina, Saints, or Vikings. That's 8-3s or 9-2s. They play the hardest schedule. And if they can, they're basically in playoff mode right now. And if they can play really well and run the table or win 4 out of 5, I think they would take incredible momentum into the postseason and maybe have one of those years where they just keep running. So they're really in playoff mode right now because they might not make the playoffs, or they got to play tough teams, starting with the Vikings today, Sunday, then coming up Thursday night. So they got two big games in 4 days.
They were 4-3 last year, and they ripped off all those wins and went red hot into the playoffs. They were 4-3 this year, and those losses were bad. Dolphins at home, Bills at home, terrible games. They didn't look good against the Jets. But I made the analogy, and you and Mons would know a lot better than I did. But I said it reminds me of like Birdstone in 2004. You got Smarty Jones. Everyone's talking about the Saints. Everyone's talking about the Panthers. And here we come. Here's this team that everyone's just kind of lurking in the background. And boom, they make their run late. That's what this team does. And I sat for 2 hours with Dan Quinn in the preseason, and we were talking. And he said the message that he told his team was embrace the suck. It's going to suck this year. We're going to hear about 28-3 every single turn we make. Every loss, it's going to be 28-3, 28-3. We have to find a way to embrace it. If this team can go on this run, and Mike, you nailed it, they play the Vikings this weekend, but then they play the Saints twice in 3 weeks. It's a crazy scheduling quirk, and then they go at Carolina to finish the season. If they can go through that and they can embrace that suck, well, then who can't they beat in the playoffs? They'll be the team that no one wants to face.
That's it. And I think they're just getting it together now. They got the ball to Julio Jones last week. He broke records against Tampa. But what I liked about that game more than anything else, they got the big lead. Tampa came back on them with fits and really moved the ball. And now, after not scoring to tie the game at 27-20, and now their defense is leaking, they took the ball over in their own 12, 15-yard line and kept the ball and rammed it in the end zone with 50 seconds left. So they kept the ball last 7 minutes, rammed it down the field, won the game by 14 points. Their offense has to dominate the game, and that for them, and that's what they did last week. And that told me that they're maybe catching on. They get the ball. They showed you can play the 4-minute game late. They rammed the ball to Julio all day. He got 250, 12 catches, couple of touchdowns. That's the big play you've been waiting for. So I like what I'm starting to see from them. But I give the Vikings credit because the Vikings are having this year now where Case Keenum is playing the Joe Cap role. Case Keenum is playing the Earl Morrall role. He's having a great year as a backup. He's not just playing as a backup. He is starring as a backup right now. And that's, you see these guys in this league that have that kind of year. Sometimes it goes a long way that year.
Well, it's very fitting with the Joe Cap reference where he's doing this. And it's what really is amazing is that he just won the NFC Player of the Month award.
How about that?
Tom Brady won the AFC Player of the Month.
How about Case Keenum being the Player of the Month?
Player of the Month, and they're 9-2, and all along it's been, okay, well, the defense is all right, the running game's good, and Case Keenum's not going to kill you. I watched that Thanksgiving game. He straight up balled. He played better than Matt Stafford.
Absolutely. Making big catches, running the ball, making big throws, rather, running the ball, playing like it's his job. Like, you know what? I've learned how to play this position. And you know what? Some guys do learn how to play this position. And he has done that. And to me, it's a great story now. Case Keenum has become, this team lost their quarterback, they lost Cook, and they've gone on their way, and they have a chance. This game, to me, this one here, Falcons, Vikings, will tell me a lot about the NFC playoffs. A lot.
Sure will.
Yes.
And you know what's a cool matchup? You mentioned Julio. He's going up against Xavier Rhodes, who might be the best cornerback in football. That's going to be interesting. And the Keenum, no, I'll just give you one quick one. We did their Week 3 game against the Buccaneers. It was right when Bradford went down and was kind of ruled out for a bit. And everyone's jumping off the bandwagon with the Vikings. We're sitting in the production meeting on a Friday, and I said, I don't know, it's got to be cool for you to be starting. And he's like, it's not cool for me. Like, I believe I'm one of the best 32 quarterbacks in this league, and I'm excited for the opportunity. He thought he got a raw deal in St. Louis. He thought that, I know you drafted Goff, but he really believed in his head, I'm a starting quarterback in this league. And good for him, because he's going to make money this offseason. And good for Case Keenum, because he's doing it.
And the other one is the Eagles. We know the Eagles are rolling, but now they get a chance to show that we're just going to keep rolling over everybody. They have 2 games. The other teams are more desperate than them, Seahawks and the Rams. They're going to stay out there for 2 weeks. They're going to play both games on the road. Going to tell me a lot this week. Seattle, they need this game this week at home against the Eagles. Then the Eagles are going to stay out there and play the Rams. So we're going to find out whether or not this juggernaut is going to slow down at all. And also, if I'm Philly, I'm not taking my foot off the pedal at any moment in this season because this team would not know how to restart themselves. They would not understand that. And I've seen teams try to restart themselves and fail miserably. Colts lost a team that was a great team. They took their foot off the pedal with an undefeated season, never got it back started, cost them the season. They had a mutiny on the team. Don't take your foot off the pedal if you're Philly. Just play it hard the rest of the way. And these two games, to me, will tell you a lot about where they're going.
Oh, you're spot on because you know what? Beating the Bears and the 49ers and the Giants and the Cowboys without Zeke, that's one thing. And I don't care if Richard Sherman's not in the field or Cam Chancellor's not in the field. Going in on a Sunday night with that 12th man, I know they've lost a couple games at home this season, but that place is going to be rocking because their playoff lives depend on this game too. And then right after that, the Rams. So here's the thing. Doug Peterson's never coached a big game in his life. Carson Wentz has never been the quarterback in a big NFL game in his life. And that defense, as good as Fletcher Cox and Derek Barnett and all of them have been, I don't remember any of them making a single play in a big football game before. So as much as 10-1 looks great on paper, their season starts now because I've seen a lot of teams start 10-1, finish 13-3, and get booted from the playoffs. We've seen it. So this is a young team, and sometimes young teams, I mean, you could point to the 99 Rams, you could point to some others that just come out of nowhere and they go the distance, and great, let's crown them. But sometimes these young teams hit December and they just aren't equipped to go on the road and win games that they maybe are going to be tested. Again, I don't know if the best thing that happened to them was playing the Bears, Niners, Giants, Cowboys back to back to back because there have been a lot of headlines about how dominant the Eagles are, and nothing against them. This could get rocky roads really quickly.
All right. Before we're talking about Peter Schrager, Fox, and, of course, the NFL Network with Good Morning Football. Before I get to your upset this week, one more game, and that is Saints-Panthers. Now, we're going to learn something this week. Panthers, could have lost to the Jets last week. The Jets gave them a gift. They could have lost the game. They absolutely were outplayed, and they could have lost the game. Saints got beat last week, and they got beat fairly systematically by the Rams. This is a big game again in New Orleans. Panthers, Saints. What do you think?
The winner of this game is in first place in the NFC South, which is all the marvel. It means the home playoff games, means all that stuff, and then you got to play the Falcons and the other guys and all that. I just did the Panthers. I was surprised they came out. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt on this one and saying that might have been a trap game though. They might have
played
been
lousy in that game. They were lucky to win it. Lucky to win it.
But you know what? Good teams find a way to win.
That's true.
Kuechly made the play.
I'll give you that. Kuechly made the play. I mean, listen, it was a bad play by the quarterback and then the punt return, but they didn't play well in that game.
I'm not so sure about the quarterback's thumb. I'll be honest. I know that's not out there many places, but
yeah, it is. He's on the list with the thumb. So
I'm telling you, he was throwing balls last week, and I know there's not many receivers he could be throwing to. They got rid of all of them or they're injured, and Olsen's not going to likely go. I don't know about that thumb. That said, as much as Drew Brees is a veteran, as much as Drew Brees has been through those, who else on that team do you trust in a big spot? If you look around him, I don't know what Mike Thomas does in a big spot.
Plus, there's a rumor that Brees can't throw the ball down the field anymore. He
hasn't been lighting it up. I'll just say that. Brees has got a great record right now, and he's leading these guys, and there's nothing against the way they're playing because Kamara and Ingram will win you games.
Kamara is unbelievable. You flip him the ball, he goes 25, 30 yards all the time.
Touched the ball 11 times.
Yeah.
I think he had 180 yards last week.
Yeah, I mean, Brees is picking up 150 yards on screen passes to him.
Screen passes.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, if this does have to have that shootout element to it, I don't think it will. I think this game's in the 20s. I don't know if Brees can outdo Cam Newton in a game. Even at home, where that place is nearly impossible to win, I wouldn't count out the spirit of that Panthers team and Ron Rivera. Those guys are fighters, and I truly think that defense is going to come to play.
All right, you're upset, and you've been pretty good with these this year, especially since do you know that in the last 4 weeks, favorites have won against the spread, and this is big in Vegas, at a better clip than at any time in the last 20 years. They have won over 70% against the point, 69 and change against the point spread in the last 4 weeks.
Wow.
And that's why they keep making these lines higher, because the favorites, the underdogs are getting beat right and left. Road dogs are getting beat. Home dogs are getting beat. Everyone's getting beat. So the favorites have been rolling, and most fans always bet the favorites. So that's why they get hurt on those games. Give me your upset this week.
Well, I have a quick comment. I heard you mention Bill Simmons is where you're going to bring your picks. I'll just say this.
Maybe. I haven't decided, but we're talking about it.
He loves his NBA, and he loves talking about Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones.
Yes.
We are all football, Mike. Good Morning Football. If you want to come on Fridays, we would love it.
I'll take that under serious. And Bill is the only one who can sell a Game of Thrones Thrones analysis for like $1 zillion.
He's brilliant. He's one of my favorites.
Which he did. You're right. That Game of Thrones thing, he made a lot of money on. But
that
go ahead.
Thing's a monster.
I will consider that. Thank you. Go ahead. What's up?
On to the upset, though.
Yes.
Look, this isn't as big a one as Bills going into Kansas City, but I will tell you this. The Steelers have already mentioned that they are looking at the Patriots.
Oh, my God. They already said that's the only thing they're caring about is that game.
Is that not crazy?
Yes.
So I hear that, and hello, race me to the other team for this week.
I like the Bengals, too, this week. I agree with you.
Bengals
I like them.
at home, at night,
getting
playoff
6 points.
game.
I agree with you. Good,
It's a Monday nighter. I feel like this is Marvin with all the marbles. I mean, look, I'm not going to say Marvin Lewis has a great record in big games, but
no, he doesn't.
Bengals, Joe Mixon had a nice couple
as
plays.
long as Dalton doesn't fall apart, that's the thing. Is he going to fall apart?
He's not great in prime time.
No, God, does he? Terrible. Oh, just awful. All right, so the Bengals are the pick.
Bengals are the pick, straight up.
Thank you. We'll talk next week. Thank you. Peter Schrager, Fox, and Good Morning Football. I can see him doing picks there. Well, maybe. I got to do them somewhere. You know, Mon's already offered to put him on his Twitter account. So Bill offered me the podcast, and now Good Morning Football's offered me a slot. I have to see. Yeah, at least I got a couple places to go with it. I don't have to go door to door. I was going to go door to door. Just go like down the street. Hello, here they are. Knock on the door. Hello, how you doing this morning? Before I go, let me give you this. I got the Seahawks +6. I got this. So that's it. That's it. And a couple people that offered me to sell them to someone, but I'm not doing that. Unless I'm not trying to make any money. I'm just trying to have some fun. We will do those later on. We still got Doc O'Brien on the injuries. A lot of injuries this week. It's funny. Brady was on the injured report, but he's playing. A lot of people think they're hiding the injury that Peter just mentioned about Cam Newton. And there's a lot of guys, big guys, on the injury report this week, which we'll get to at Doc in a couple of minutes. Back after this.